If you are approaching 70, or perhaps you have already arrived, take a deep breath and let this truth sink in. You are standing at one of the most powerful crossroads of life. You have walked decades of hills and valleys. You have celebrated joys and endured heartaches. You have learned lessons that cannot be found in any book or online course. And now, right now, you hold the pen to write a story whose echoes can outlast your own heartbeat. People often talk about leaving a legacy as if it's about money or buildings or fame. But a lasting legacy is far more personal and profound. It's the quiet way you shape the lives around you, your family, your friends, your community, even strangers who may never know your name. Legacy is the invisible thread you weave through time, connecting yesterday's wisdom to tomorrow's possibilities. Today, I want to walk with you through 4 things, 4 living commitments that will ensure your legacy is not just remembered, but felt. These are not chores to tick off a list. They are opportunities, and they are available to you whether you are 69 or 99, whether you have great wealth or simple means. As we talk, imagine yourself sitting across from me with a warm cup of tea. Imagine that every word you hear is a gentle nudge from the universe saying, "Your life still matters in ways you cannot yet see." The first action for a lasting legacy is to preserve your life's wisdom before it slips away like mist in the morning sun. Think for a moment about the stories you carry. The moment you fell in love, the job you lost that turned out to be a hidden blessing, the way you comforted a friend during their darkest hour. These memories are priceless, yet they can vanish if they remain only in your mind. People assume their children or grandchildren will somehow absorb these lessons, but memories fade and details are lost. Begin now, even if it feels awkward. Buy a simple notebook or open a digital document and write down 1 memory a day. It doesn't need to be perfect prose. Describe the smell of your childhood kitchen, the sound of a long-gone friend's laugh, the lesson you learned when you stood up for yourself. Or, if writing isn't your style, record your voice. Use your phone or a simple recorder. Let future generations hear the rhythm of your speech, the unique way you pause or chuckle. I once met Clara, a retired teacher who began recording a 5-minute voice memo every Sunday when she turned 70. She called them her Sunday seeds. At first, she wondered if anyone would care. But after she passed, her grandchildren gathered every week to listen to one recording. They said it was as if their grandmother was still sitting with them, guiding them, making them laugh. Those simple recordings became a family tradition more valuable than any inheritance. Your wisdom is a treasure chest. Don't lock it away. Share recipes, family jokes, the story of how you overcame fear, even the regrets that taught you something vital. Each detail you capture is a gift to people you may never meet. Great-grandchildren, future neighbors, even a stranger who reads your words decades from now. By preserving your wisdom, you plant seeds that keep blooming long after you are gone. The second essential step is to nurture relationships with fierce intentionality. Time has a way of scattering us. Friends move, family members get busy. Years slip by until we suddenly realize it's been a decade since we heard a familiar voice. Legacy is built in connection, and connection must be tended like a living garden. Call the friend you've been meaning to call. Write the letter you've postponed for years. Offer the apology you once thought could wait. I think of Victor, a widower who, at 72, decided he did not want loneliness to define his final chapters. He started hosting small gratitude dinners in his modest home. The first night, only 3 people came, an old neighbor, a cousin, and a friend from church. They shared a meal and each spoke about something they were grateful for. The next month, a few more showed up. Within a year, his living room overflowed with laughter and shared memories. When Victor passed, hundreds came to his memorial, not because of his career or possessions, but because he had deliberately poured love into their lives. Relationships require courage. You may need to forgive someone who once hurt you, or reach out to a child who has drifted away. Sometimes you might face rejection, but more often you will awaken a bond that was simply waiting for your touch. Every phone call, every visit, every moment of genuine presence is a brick in the foundation of a legacy built on love. When people remember you, they won't recall how spotless your house was or how large your bank account grew. They will remember how you made them feel valued and seen. The third action is to pass on values, not just valuables. Money can vanish. Objects break, but values, kindness, curiosity, integrity, faith, service, can echo through generations. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What principle would I want a great-grandchild to mention when they speak my name? Once you know, live it so vividly that others cannot miss it. Eleanor, a quiet woman I once interviewed, decided that her guiding value was compassion. Every week for a decade, she wrote a handwritten note to someone in need. Neighbors struggling with illness, hospital patients she'd never met, lonely widows across town. When she passed, people came forward, clutching those letters like sacred relics, saying her words had sustained them through dark nights. Eleanor left no fortune, but her compassion became a living inheritance. Your value might be education, so you could start a tradition of family book clubs or sponsor a small local scholarship. It might be creativity, inspiring grandchildren to paint or write. It might be resilience, shown by how you face your own aging with courage and humor. Live your values out loud. Tell the stories of how you learned them. Create rituals, holiday traditions, community service days, annual family hikes that embody those ideals. These become the heartbeat of a legacy no market downturn can erase. The fourth action is to prepare a future of peace, not confusion, for those you love. This is where many people hesitate, because it means confronting the fact that life is finite. But planning ahead is not morbid. It is a profound act of love. Make your wishes known, your healthcare preferences, your end-of-life decisions, your estate plans. Create a will. Write down important passwords and account details. Have open conversations with the people you trust. Margaret and James, a couple I deeply admire, created what they called their legacy binder. Inside, they placed letters to each grandchild, instructions for their memorial, favorite recipes, and even a playlist of songs they wanted played at their celebration of life. When the time came, their children said that binder was a final gift. Instead of frantic searches for documents or debates about intentions, there was clarity and comfort. They could focus on love and remembrance rather than paperwork and stress. Think of how much peace you can give your family by preparing in this way. It is a final, generous chapter of your story, allowing them to grieve and celebrate without confusion. Now, as these four commitments settle in your heart, preserving wisdom, nurturing relationships, passing on values, and preparing a peaceful future, let's pause together. Breathe slowly. Picture the faces of those you love. Imagine them years from now, speaking your name with a smile, perhaps telling a grandchild, "This is what I learned from them." That picture is not fantasy. It is a vision you can bring to life starting today. A lasting legacy is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is the neighbor who recalls your kindness, the child who carries your laugh into adulthood, the stranger who finds courage because you once shared your story. Your 70s are not an ending. They are a powerful beginning of the legacy that will continue to unfold when you are no longer here to guide it. So begin now. Tonight, jot down a memory. Tomorrow, call that old friend. This week, speak aloud the values that define you. And in the coming months, put your affairs in order as a final act of love. These four choices are not tasks to check off. They are gifts you give to the future. Remember, a legacy isn't what you leave for people. It's what you leave in them. And you, right now, hold everything you need to make that legacy shine for generations.